Hi, Paul Slack is Good News Broadcast. Speaking of Melissa Della Cruz. Hi, Melissa. How are you?
Hi, Paul. I'm good, thanks.
Good. Best-selling author of the Blue Blood series, and just in time for Halloween. Unique series brings a undead to life. Why vampires still capture the imagination? Why do vampires still capture the imagination?
I think they've been capturing our imagination for, hundreds of years. Dracula is the 5th best-selling book of all time. Next to the Bible, there's Dracula.
Okay.
And, so it's like, I think they just cycle in. Like, every 10 to 20 years, they get hot again. When I was growing up, it was Salem's Lot with Stephen King and Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire. So that's what I read as a teenager. And then, in the 90s, there was, like, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And there was nothing after Buffy for a little bit. And then now, with Twilight and True Blood and Blue Bloods, it's all back in the pinnacle.
There you go. I'm close to this subject, to be frank with you. I grew up in Tarrytown, the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and we were kind of into this, and it's my favorite holiday. You mentioned to me earlier that it's your favorite holiday as well?
Oh, I love Halloween. I always dress up on Halloween, and you got to celebrate Halloween. I have a 4-year-old. I feel like Halloween has to be scary, but since we have a 4-year-old, we're going as the Star Wars family. Darth Vader, Princess Leia, and she's going as Yoda.
All right. Well, I'm inviting everybody who's listening to this right now to a Halloween party on the pier at 26th Street. We'll probably have around 1,000 people.
Oh, nice.
And it's a big old-time party, and it's a lot of fun. And I've had 18 years of parties with my little kid, my daughter, where a pumpkin party. I called it a pumpkin party. I gave the pumpkin. What do you think about the pumpkin aspect of the Halloween?
Oh, well, I'm married to an architect, so we always had the best kind of architectural pumpkins. It's not just a jack-o'-lantern. There would always be, he would do like a haunted house carving, or some kind of like different face. So I feel like really lucky because our pumpkins always look spectacular.
Excellent. So now tell us about this book. So do I have to be scared?
Oh, no. I'm a big fraidy cat. So my vampires, I actually created a world where there are good vampires and evil vampires. Ooh. So the good vampires, are the heroes. So.
Yeah, good. What makes a good vampire a good vampire?
Well, in my world, the vampires, came over on the Mayflower and founded our country. And then they were also around for all the big historical upheavals. They were responsible for the Renaissance and bringing light and truth and beauty to the world. But they harbor deep, dark secrets. So in Misguided Angel, which is the 5th book of the series, we discover what some of those dark secrets the good vampires are keeping. Maybe they're not so good after all.
Very interesting subject. My wife is from Pennsylvania. That's not Pennsylvania. No. So, and I think that's where that Dracula guy was from.
Oh, well, there you go.
But he wasn't a nice guy. He was known to be quite a terror.
Oh, yes. No, the myth of the vampires. It's funny because in my books, the Count Dracula is kind of a fraud that they've concocted to fool the humans.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, well, tell us, how do you come around to write books like this Blue Blood series? And what are some of the other books? And give us some idea of the background on it.
Sure. I've always loved big, epic fantasy series. My favorite book is Lord of the Rings, Dune by Frank Herbert, Stephen King's Dark Tower series. So I really love a big fantasy saga. And when my editor asked me if I wanted to write a horror book, I immediately thought vampires, family saga. I also like soap operas. So it's a little bit of a vampire soap opera, Da Vinci Code kind of thing.
Okay. Well, that makes a good, well-rounded. I mean, the family still. I don't know. I used to do soap operas, and the family structure is the most fascinating thing in the world, right? The most intriguing.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you don't know your parents as people, so when you find out that they actually live as young people and have these crazy stories, and that's what I think a lot of soap operas are about, the secrets that your parents keep from you.
All right. That's an interesting way to look at it. Well, what made you want to become a writer?
I'd always wanted to be a writer ever since I could remember. That's the only thing I ever wanted to be. And I think I was about 11 or 12, about the same age as my readers are when they start out reading Blue Bloods. And I just loved, Little Women and Anne of Green Gables and Sweet Valley High. And the woman who wrote Sweet Valley High, I discovered, was in her 20s. which was crazy to me because I thought all authors were either dead or 90 years old. So I thought, oh, wow, you could, be a young woman and write books. And, that kind of sparked the interest in doing them.
And you say you write books for younger people?
Yes, I write for teenagers.
And so what brought that passion about?
Again, it's an editor. I started out in magazines. I was a journalist, and I wrote an adult book, and my editor asked me if I wanted to write for teens. And I'd always, kind of felt like I was 14 years old. My internal clock had stopped at 14. So I definitely remember every aspect of my teen life and, feel very passionate about writing about it.
Well, you have good spirit. I can feel that right through the phone.
Thank you.
So obviously you're in essence living your dream, I think.
Oh, definitely. No, it's the most wonderful thing, because you don't think I was a computer programmer before before the books hit. And that's very nobody thinks, well, maybe some kids do. That's Mark Zuckerberg, but that was not a dream. I wanted to be a writer, and right now it's just all gravy.
So the future for you, where would you like to make these books into some movies? Books were always the end goal. They've been optioned by Hollywood several times. I have several things in development. I have a TV show based on one of my anthologies that I edited called Girls Who Like Boys, which is coming out in Sundance in December. So, we've got a little toe in Hollywood. But for me, as long as I keep writing the books, that's kind of where my future is. We have a Bloody Valentine, which is 3 love stories, and it's set in the Blue Bloods world, coming out December 28th. And then Witches of East End, which is my first adult paranormal series, coming out next summer. So I'm busy writing. You sure are.
Yeah.
What's that word? Prolific. Well, you're really you're pumping them out. So so how long on a day every day do you write?
Yeah, I try to. Writing is kind of a muscle. You have to exercise it, and also I have a 4-year-old, so I have to get my work done while she's at school. Because you just need to balance everything. So I try to be a lot more disciplined these days. I write about from 10 to about 3, then I pick her up, and then when she's in bed, I write from 8 to about 10 again. So, yeah.
Excellent. So life is good.
Oh, life's great.
Yes. Well, that's great. That's super duper. And you have a lot of support around you?
Oh, definitely. You can't do it alone. I have my family, my publisher, my readers. It's all a good support system.
Your website is?
Melissa-delacruz.com.
Okay. And the last question, what's good news for you, Melissa?
What's good news for me?
Sounds like a lot already, but we'll throw one more question in.
Good news for me is we're going to go out to dinner. I always look forward to my next meal.
There's a beautiful picture on the cover. Let me just say that as well.
I know.
Who is that? Who is that person?
That is a model.
Okay.
Yep. And
gorgeous.
Yeah, isn't it? They make the beautiful Hyperion. My publisher just makes beautiful covers for the book.
That's magnificent. What is that? What is that white? Is that
it's an angel wing.
It's an angel wing. Yeah.
She's an angel.
And then underneath it is
is Florence.
That's Florence.
Yep.
Wow, Zow. Beautiful. Congratulations, Misguided Angel, a Blue Blood novel.
Yes.
Thanks, Melissa. Take care.
Thank you.
All righty, bye-bye.
Bye.